Hey, Usher team, it's so good to be with you via video. I'm actually coming to you from my laundry room. Just put my son down, had a busy day, but still want to get this video out to you guys. So honored to be working with you through guest services. You know, it's October, everything's in full swing, school's in full swing, football season's upon us, and man, we're almost was it August, September, almost 3 months into AM Church. And so thank you for taking the time and investing 15 minutes in watching this video. We really think it's the best way to communicate to a large group of folks. And so, man, I'm so honored that you have taken this 15 minutes. One of my heartbeats is to get to know all of you guys. And so as I get to know you and experience all that ushers do, it's an incredibly tough and demanding role in guest services. I'm so honored that you do that. And I'm looking forward to at some point, hopefully soon, get to experience that actually on a Sunday with you side by side. And so please extend me some grace as I get to know all of you guys. I'm so honored that you would take time out, again, like I said, to watch this video. And the reason that we're doing these videos is that we've taken really the 4 teams of guest services and assigned greeters to the first week, and cafe to the second, and ushers to the third, and parking to the fourth. And we want to focus on that given week to that team and really send out kind of a, hey, what's been going on, kind of what's some of our focus, what are some of the things that you could extremely that's actually extremely important, and things that you could really help us out as your staff. And so last week you should have gotten a video about the transition in leadership from Craig and Teresa's helping in the admin to bringing guest services fully underneath my leadership and the other ministries that I'm grateful to lead. And then Sandy Moore taking the role of admin and ministry coordinator that Teresa had. And so hopefully you got to watch that video from Craig. We've tried to do this transition in a slow manner because we wanted to honor you guys, because Craig and I really share this opinion that guest services really is one of the most important ministries, and we want to give it incredible time and attention, and we want to learn, and I continue to want to learn the history of guest services, and that's kind of why we've done a slow transition and extending us incredible honor and incredible grace through this. Ultimately, for us, the transition of guest services underneath my area just made sense because I primarily, up until guest services came underneath me, worked in the next steps, assimilation, servant leader. And so bringing it underneath our ministries is kind of linking the ministries from the parking lot to getting people engaged in member partnership classes, and then also in servant leadership. So that's kind of really the transition. And ultimately I want you to know that I'm for you, that I want to really just come alongside and help strengthen an already incredibly strong servant-led kind of effort. And so, man, I want to come in and a collective team, really by God's Spirit, take the welcoming strangers ministry of this place and to do more and more incredible things with it. So excited about what the future holds. Again, thank you so much as a guest services team for injecting so much life and hospitality in seating people. One of the things I realize, and I know you're aware of, is that as you guys seat in a strategic and warm and inviting manner, it can be difficult, but we all know that the empty seats in our auditorium can at times represent a possible person on the outside of our auditorium. So the way you greet and seat people is of incredible kingdom value, and so honored. And I know I've using that a lot, and I don't want that to be cliche. I really mean that. I realize we can't do this alone, and you guys are an incredible vital part of this ministry. And so as we kind of move into this time, these videos really are for us as your staff to communicate things to you instead of a long 5-page email that's just impersonal. You can't understand the tone. What is he saying here? We want to do this video as a way to really hopefully communicate through somewhat of a face-to-face, to a degree, personal way. And so we've got a couple things that we want to touch on, a couple things that we would love your help in, and then we're going to focus on really the plumb line of the month of October. So the first thing, again, that we just wanted to reiterate is Planning Center and accepting and declining invitations through Planning Center. And I know that sometimes technology can be a hindrance, but if you can kind of maybe for a second see it from our perspective, as we're trying as your staff team to coordinate over 200 people across the 4 teams of guest services on a week-to-week basis, that can be an incredibly taxing thing for really primarily one person, Sandy. And so really Planning Center is a tool for us that can, in a really big way, send out a bunch of invitations, and then you guys can go in and even set in Planning Center up to get that on your phone as a text or an email, and you can just hit accept or decline either in your email or your text, and then we'll know if you are coming and being able to be a part of one of our teams on a given Sunday. And so it's a really a huge help from our side. And so if you could help us, because for us it's important, because if you accept or decline, it helps us get a clear picture of how many ushers we have on a given weekend, and then we can work with some of the team leads to make adjustments before Sunday morning if need be. And so it's really an incredible way for us to get a clear picture of the weekend. But if you don't accept or decline, we're kind of in the dark, and we really don't have a way to know if you're serving or not. So and there's a way in Planning Center, because we've changed the way that we send out assignments. Instead of trying to figure out which Sunday you can and cannot serve for 200 people, we're sending invitations out every week to every person on the team. You can actually go into Planning Center and block out the days and the Sundays that you're going to be out of town, and you won't receive an invitation to serve. And so if you have any if there's any roadblocks from using the technology, sometimes it can be daunting to try to figure it out. We would love really to help you out to set up your Planning Center account. And so let us know if you have any issues or you want some help. We'd love to help. You can reach out to me, Eric at stonegatefellowship.com, or Sandy at stonegatefellowship.com as well. We would really, really appreciate that from you. Really, the second thing to talk about is our F1 check-in. And so check-in for us is incredibly important for a variety of reasons. I'll get to that here in a second. So when you show up on campus, please take some time to check in. And if you are checking in, not only checking in, we'll go back to Planning Center. If you're utilizing Planning Center and accepting and declining, thank you for doing that. It's an incredible help. And if you're checking in every time you serve, thank you again. It's incredible help for us. When you arrive, and if you could arrive maybe 20-25 minutes before your service or your shift serving as an usher, that's going to allow you to get checked in and find your team and get situated. You can check in at one of our check-in kiosks at any time. For example, if you serve during the 10:30 hour and you attend service at the 9, you can check in as an usher before the 9 o'clock service, and then you're already good to go for the 10:30. But if you serve during the service that you attend, if you could help us by getting there 20-25 minutes before that service to get checked in and find your team, maybe even join us in the green room for guest services, we would thoroughly enjoy that. And so the reason why we have our check-ins, and our check-ins for guest services are to the north or to the left of Stonewall. The reason that we do that is twofold. Really, for us, it's not a hoop that we want you to jump through. Ultimately, those check-ins are used for metrics, and we need reliable metrics to know who's there and who's not. And so if somebody's not there for a while, it gives us a picture of, man, let's reach out to that person and see if what's going on in their life. Maybe they're just busy, and we get to help, or we know we can pray for them, or if, we just don't want anybody to fall through the cracks, or if there's a serious family thing that we need to help with, or maybe it's just, hey, I'm just busy. And we want those metrics to help really come alongside and shepherd you as much as we can. And then again, when our elders want metrics as they make determinations on, are we going to go this direction in staffing? Or are we going to go this direction as a fellowship? Those reliable metrics are incredibly important. So thank you again for already beforehand checking in. It's a huge help for us. If you have any questions on check-in, we've got some folks on the greeter team that help check in for guest services, and so we should be right there to the left of Stonewall or back into the green room to help you out. Ultimately, our goal is to help increase the total amount of ushers that serve on a week-to-week basis, to staff our teams well for those who are coming in brand new to our fellowship. And so your checking in is an incredible help to that. So thank you so much in advance. The third thing that we wanted to stress to you is that, and I wrote it this way, actually Sandy wrote it this way, made a great point, that we need your eyes and ears for security and awareness in the auditorium. So for us, since we moved church to the morning, what's happened is that we've put more people on our campus in tighter windows, and it's just at times just an incredible mass amount of people, and our security team and our staff team have limited eyes, but you guys are in the auditorium, you see people, and you're making through your eyes and ears this warm and safe environment as you greet and see people. Because here's the one thing, if something just DLR doesn't look right, chances are something may be wrong or afoot. And if that's the case, let a gatekeeper, our security guys, or our staff know about that. Again, you guys and your eyes and ears are vital to us as we seek to make this a continually warm and warm and safe environment. The fourth thing, second to last thing, and try to make this as quick as possible. One of the things we've heard from some of the ushers in some of the brief conversations that we've had is they think that it would be beneficial to work to divide all of our ushers into sub teams based on what service you attend. And so a sub team with a team leader, in actuality, that's what we've heard across guest services. So that's one of the big rocks that we're trying to lift. We're trying to work with your peers and yourselves, as well as we try to figure out how the best team setup can be in each one of these ministries. And so we want to help continue to build the usher team at 9, the usher team at 10:30 Main, 10:30 North, and the usher team at noon. And so we believe that creating teams among many wins, primarily the 3 that I wrote down here, is it's going to help us communicate more efficiently. It's going to decentralize communication a little bit. It's going to help build more and more camaraderie and more one anothering together, and it's going to help us become more efficient all around. And so we're bringing in some of your peers and to help us in this process, and to then roll it out to you guys kind of in the test phase. Some are already kind of doing this, but we want to help maybe bring a little bit more structure. One of the things I want to commit to you is that any decision that we make, I don't ever want to make in a vacuum. I'm not a dictator. I don't see what you see, and so I want to hear from you guys and to hear from those folks that do the ministry day in and day out, and I'm just grateful for that. So we're getting close to 15 minutes here. I want to honor your time, and so I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. But the last thing we want to talk about is really our plumb line of the month. And if you watched the video last month, we began rolling out these plumb lines, these pithy statements that kind of root us back into the why we do what we do, these kind of value statements. Last month it was the gospel's offensive enough, nothing else should be. We talked about that. This month, the plumb line of October is we want to labor to make outsiders insiders. And so because here's the reality of what we do in guest services. every single weekend, someone comes to our campus for the very first time, and they're going to naturally feel like an outsider. This natural feeling is just it happens all the time. Let's say a friend invites you to a family function. That family function, you don't know the ins and the outs, the stories, the nuances, the jokes, the inside jokes, the even some of the language, or maybe you feel anxious and nervous because you don't know that. You don't want to make a mistake. You don't know where to sit. Maybe maybe you're invited into a meeting in your workplace that you don't usually attend, or you're invited to a part of town where you're not familiar. I mean, there's this anxiety. There's where do I go? What do I do? And for people coming to our campus for the first time, they're going to feel that way. And so we want to make every effort in a non kind of creepy, stalkerish way, them feel like family. And so some of the things that I kind of wrote down in this is that we can have an outward posture instead of just talking to each other. We can talk to each other when it's appropriate, but if we have an outward posture where we're always looking out, we're being proactive, we're not being reactive, we're enthusiastic, we're making eye contact, we're smiling, we're speaking to people. We can be on the lookout for the first timer. And some of the ways that you can know that is maybe someone who's walking at a slower pace, or they're always looking around, they're repeatedly looking at their phone, they're arriving really early or probably late. And those are some of the people. And so we can help determine their focus. Why are they here? And then we can apply grace and pick up on their cues. We can try to provide easy and clear next steps as we seek to greet and to welcome them. Because ultimately, people want to know some simple things when they show up on our campus. Where do I need to park? If I have kids, where do I need to drop them off? Where do I need to sit? And then after that, I'm going to make a determination, is this place worth coming back to? And we do all of that, hoping that we remove every distraction, helping them feel like family so that God by His Spirit can intersect their lives and show them how incredible He is. And so you guys are an integral part of helping make outsiders insiders, making every effort to make those brand new to our campus feel like family. And so as an Usher team, I just want to say thank you for investing the 16, 17 minutes. I don't take it lightly. I know that your time is valuable, and I'm honored that you would. So looking forward to seeing you this Sunday. Have a wonderful, wonderful Friday and Saturday, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.